Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle, and I'm going to be doing a really quick monthly reading wrap-up. These videos are my favorite to film and to watch. I love a reading wrap-up. I want to know what everyone has been reading. This one is going to be disappointing. You might notice by the fact that I assume this is under 10 minutes long that I didn't read much this month, and you would be correct. I didn't read much this month, but what I did read, I did thoroughly enjoy. So I'm going to tell you about the books anyway. Let's start at the beginning. Let's not dilly-dally. Let's get right into it. The first thing I read was Killers of a Certain Age by Deanna Raybourn. I read this for my video about booktubers' favorite thrillers and mysteries. This is like a thriller, I guess. I almost feel like it's more like an adventure novel. Is that a category? Is that a genre? I don't know. It follows these assassins. These women have been working for this company called The Museum as assassins for years now, like 3 decades. And now they're retiring, and as a retirement gift, they've been given a cruise. But while they're on this cruise, it turns out someone's trying to kill them. And so, obviously, hijinks ensue. They have to, run away from these sort of shenanigans and figure out what the heck is going on. And it is so much fun. The book is so much fun. It doesn't all take place on the cruise ship. I had the misconception when I picked up this book that it all took place on the cruise ship, and it doesn't. And it takes place all over, and I just had such a good time. It is really a fun read. I hope this book gets made into a movie. National Treasure sort of vibes. That's kind of the vibes of this book, is National Treasure, Da Vinci Code, in the most fun way. It's fun and kind of camp. I really, really liked it. Then I read The Thursday Murder Club by Richard Osman, also for that booktuber's favorite mysteries video. And this is a book, if you haven't heard of it. It's been on the Sunday Times, which is Britain's version of the New York Times bestseller list for for 3 years straight, I think, probably. It's Britain's favorite book, I say, knowing very little about the British book market. But it is a murder mystery about this retirement community, and it's about these group of elderly retired people, and every Thursday they get together and solve cold cases, hence the Thursday Murder Club. But pretty early in the book, a murder happens on their doorstep. Someone gets murdered at the retirement community, and they decide to solve this murder. And it is so fun. It is also so heartwarming. I cried at the end of this book, which is something I was not expecting, especially from the tone throughout. This book is very silly and very fun, but also just heartfelt. I cried in a couple spots towards the end of the book, and I really enjoyed it. I don't know if I'm going to continue with the series, just because I don't know if I'm a big mystery girl, but it was a very, very good book, and I would highly recommend it if you're looking for a fun, cozy mystery. Then I read Yolk by Mary H.K. Choi. This book was stunning. Stunning. This book has been on my list to read for a while, but it has some pretty heavy topics, and so I wanted to make sure I was in a good headspace before I tackled it. And this book did take me a while to get through, just because it was heavier and also gorgeously written. Sometimes when a book is so stunningly written, it takes me a while to get through, just because I want to digest and slowly process the writing. And I think this book is written brilliantly. It is one of the most beautiful and ugly at the same time depictions of a sibling relationship. It follows these 2 sisters in New York. They're both in their 20s, and they live very different lives. One of them is a fashion student in college, and she's struggling with a lot of mental health stuff. And then her older sister is a finance person in New York, and so they have very disparate lives. They are the daughters of immigrants, and there's a lot of conversation around that, and but it's mostly about their dynamic as sisters, and it is very painful. But I thought it was a really accurate depiction of kind of the viciousness that is the sibling dynamic. There's a profound love between these sisters, but they're also incredibly mean to each other. And I felt it was a very true depiction of sibling relationships, in that it was messy and complicated, but at the same time incredibly simple. These girls would do anything for each other, but also they might kill each other. It is gorgeous, beautiful book, one of the best books I've read so far this year. Absolutely loved it. And then the final thing I read this month, as you may have noted, we were on a bit of a reading slump. I didn't finish my first book until the 15th this month. I picked this book up on the 26th, 27th, and I finished it on the 29th. I finished it so fast, and it was so good, and it cured me of my reading slump. As you know, if you've been here before and you've been hanging out with me for a while, I'm someone who typically reads a couple books at a time, and after I finished this book, I picked up 2 other books. I'm already 75% of the way through them, and I started them on Saturday. I've picked up the sequel. I will be done with the sequel any day now. I'm 65% of the way through that, and then I'm also reading tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. Anyway, let me tell you the book. I don't think I've done that yet. So the book is The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. I read the first book in the Daughter of the No World series and then didn't finish it. Loved the series. Recommended the series to other people because I loved it so much and have not finished the series yet. And I was holding off on reading this one because I wanted to like finish one series before I started another one, but I just like couldn't do it to myself anymore because this one is a vampire fantasy romance. And like if you know me, you know I'm a Twilight girly to my core. Like Twilight raised me, and so like I will always love a vampire romance, and this was certainly no exception. I loved this so much. It follows this girl whose name is Aurea, and she's a human girl, but the whole world is kind of like ruled and taken over by vampires. Humans are like very much like relegated to a lower quadrant of this world. But she was found when she was a small child, and her father, the king of the vampires, the king of night, I think, took her in and raised her. So she's been raised in this castle with vampires, but like she's a human girly. So as a human, she's like has an incredible liability to be like killed because like everyone around her is a vampire. And so she decides to enter this contest that's kind of like the Hunger Games for vampires, sort of. There's like 4 tasks. There's only one winner, and everyone else has to die over the course of these 4 tasks. And the winner gets one like wish from the goddess of this kingdom, Nyaxia. And so she's going to enter this tournament, and then she is going to like wish to have her weaknesses eliminated, essentially. And then of course, as she enters into this game, she meets this other vampire man, and he obviously is a love interest. Like, you know, you've read a book before. You and me, we've read a book. It is so good. I feel like Carissa Broadbent does like a good slow burn between our love interests. The like background and the larger story is like really interesting and fascinating. Like I said, I'm about a little more than halfway through the second book, and it is also so good. This book, the series, is going to be like a 6-book series in total, is what I've heard. But each couple there are 3 couples. So we're following Aurea in her love interest in the first book and the second book, and then we follow someone new in the 3rd book and the 4th book, and then again in the 5th book and the 6th book. Is how I think it's going to go. But I'm so excited to read them. Also, I'm going to go back and finish Daughter of No Worlds. I pinky promise. It just like I wasn't in the space for it, but like maybe this will have saved me. But this book truly saved me from a reading slump. Like it like plucked me up from my reading slump, kissed me on my forehead, and like sent me on my way. And I like feel healed from it. I'm so excited for May's reading. It is warm out, so I can do reading outside, which is lovely. Like, truly, like, nothing I could ask for better than that. I have Happy Place by Emily Henry. I have it in my possession. You're actually sitting right on top of it. And I will certainly be reading that in May. I'm so excited. I love Emily Henry with all of my heart. But yeah, things are looking up. I think reading is going to get better from here. I hope it does, because, like, truly, I've only read 30 books so far this year, which is, like, very low for me. At best rate, like, I won't even reach 100, which is, like, whoa, embarrassing. For me, everyone reads at a different pace, but this is not the pace I like to keep. So anyway, that's where we're at. Thanks for listening to me ramble about the books I read this month. I will talk to you in the next video. Have a great one. Bye.